Hi. I'm going to explain to you today basically how to wrap your hands for heavy bag or sparring or anything like that. I use a 180-inch hand wrap. This is from Title Boxing, but you can use whatever you want. I don't like junior wraps because they're really just too short for adequate protection unless you're actually a junior and you have really small hands. Here's my hand. Hopefully you can see it well. Hopefully the lighting is good. Here's the loop of most boxing gloves. Most hand wraps. And you go over the wrist, and then under the wrist, and then you go over the side of the hand, go over the knuckles, you go over the thumb, then you go across the palm, making sure everything is flat, then you go over the knuckles, then you go under the thumb, and this is basically the hardest part of this whole procedure. Then you go under the thumb and wrist in between, you go for the first knuckle, then you go over the wrist, making sure it's not folded like this so you can get a good feel. Then you wrap the wrist once, then you go over the knuckles, wrap the knuckles once, and then you go do the technique again over the inside between the ring and the middle finger. Then you go once over the wrist, making sure it's not folded again. Then you should also turn your hand and close your fist to make sure it's not too tight. If you want it, if it is too tight, then you should try it again and make it a little bit looser. Go over the wrist, go over the knuckle, and do this one more time with the index. Over the wrist, over the knuckle, and then I like to concentrate on the knuckles more, so I'm going to wrap it. Usually people would just go straight for the wrist, but then I like to wrap it one more time until you know that you have enough length to have two more wraps over the wrist. Then I go for the wrist, tight right here, and then you close it up. It should feel really tight on the wrist, not so tight that you can't move it, but just like you feel the pressure of it. And it should have good protection on the knuckles, so it should look something like this. And that's basically it. This is probably the most important aspect of boxing, so you don't break your hand. And even with this, you should also practice good technique, because you could still break your hand with the hand wraps on. And you should feel good pressure on your thumb too, good pressure on your knuckles, good pressure on your wrist, and it should feel good. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you.